Yes, welcome to the Steve Taylor Community Connection Show. We are so excited this morning. We have a very special guest, Mindi
Yes.
Marshall.
You got it.
Okay. So we're, on a serious note, we have a very special event coming up this year.
We do. It's our 27th annual Milestones Award from the YWCA.
Yes. I want you to get into a little bit of telling our audience what is this about and how proud you are to actually host this again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So Milestone started back in '96. It's a tribute for women in our community that are doing really incredible things. We have 7 awards that are given out in each of these different categories based on their career and what they have done that aligns with our mission. Its intention was to be able to honor the women that were, quite frankly, being overlooked by their male counterparts for promotions, recognition, and awards. So we started this back in '96.
Nice.
This is going to be our 27th year and our first year back in person in 3 years because of course that wild pandemic that happened. Right. This year we're continuing to honor the 7 different categories, which include the arts, education, business, government, social services, science, and volunteerism. And then we also this year actually added a new category called Women on the Rise.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes, it's awesome. So when we think of milestones, we certainly don't put an age on it, but it tends to typically go to somebody that is at the end of their career. Somebody,
a body of work.
Yes, you've got it. Exactly, a milestone, right?
Yes.
And what we realized is that some of the other women in our community that were maybe at the mid-level of their career were tending to be overlooked. Maybe they had earned 20 under 40 and now they've got to wait another 30 years before they get a milestone, and that's just too long for them to go unrecognized. Women on the Rise is our new category that we're honoring 3 women in the community, so a total of 10 honorees this year.
So I saw the list of some of the women that you're honoring.
Yeah.
Can you share the folks, or is
Oh,
that
sure,
okay.
certainly.
Okay. Can you
Yeah.
share some of the
We
names?
keep it quiet until we make the big announcement
Okay.
in January, but
Okay.
now it's public knowledge. So we have Amy Chang, that is our arts category, so she's a cellist for the symphony. We also have Ambria Mikolajczyk, who is in business with art restoration. We have Mary Sabin, who is our education. Dr. Cecilia Adams, that is government.
Legend.
Yes, she is, isn't she? Lori Hauser, who is our sciences. We also have, oh my gosh, see, now you're gonna make me nervous. I'm gonna forget people. We have Christy Hoffman, who is volunteerism. And then we have our Women on the Rise. We have Kendra Smith, and let's see, who else do we have?
I put you on the spot.
You did,
you
I
did
know.
really well. You got.
Did I get 8?
8 of them.
8 of them? Did I?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard to remember.
And if we had the list in front of us, we wouldn't have gotten out as many as you did. Trust
Lauren
me.
Clark,
Okay.
that's another one, and Aaron Baker.
Okay,
There we go.
nice.
Not to be forgotten.
That's fantastic. Well, when I saw the list, it was unbelievable how you hear a lot of the names in the news and in the community. I was just at an event where Christy Huffman was the MC at the LLS Gala the other night.
Yeah.
Lori Hauser done so much with Imagination Station in the past, and so many fantastic women that it's great that you're able to recognize them. It'll be a great event.
Tina Butts, that's the other one
Yes.
I forgot.
Okay.
Tina Butts with social services cannot be forgotten.
Yep.
She's an incredible woman of her own. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you keep track of everybody, because I know there's a lot of nominations, and you guys go through everything that you do to pick out these women that you're able to honor. So
We do,
I
yeah.
looked at last year's list too. I saw the ones that were nominated, and like you said, you've been going back since what, 1996?
96.
So, yeah, just a great thing for our community, and what a great month to do it too.
Yeah,
right?
it's
So,
intentional
yeah,
that way.
obviously.
Yeah.
I think they made the month around your awards. didn't they?
I think so.
I think
Sounds
it
about
went the other way.
I was just going to say the same thing, boss. You know, the timing is great. We had the privilege to go to the International Women's event,
I was
which
there.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have that, you have your awards. You know, and I think this last election cycle in our country, more women were elected to political offices in our country than any time in the history of the United States. I think there's a reason for that. You know, the best 3 people I've ever met in my life were my mom, my wife, and my daughter. I think that women are stronger, smarter, more moral, more ethical. I mean, I think it's just kind of a fact. And what they're doing to change our country and to make a difference is immense. And you know, John Glenn, before he was blasted off into space, the movie, I don't know if you remember the movie, he's getting ready to crawl into the capsule, you know, and this was a dicey back when Glenn went up, it was maybe, 30-70, it isn't gonna, I'm not gonna be around to order pizza later tonight, And right before he physically actually got into the capsule, they had a phone right there. He grabbed the phone and they hooked him up to a woman who did the math, longhand, not on a computer. She did it on paper. She was so talented. He said, I forget her name, I can't remember her name, and he said, are we good? She did the math, she said, we're good. And Glenn said, the only way you would have gotten in that capsule is if she said it was good. That's how brilliant she was on the math. So, us honoring women, we should do it every day because you're remarkable.
Tom hit the nail on the head. I'm raising 2 young daughters, and I think, and you hear it a lot. It's a difficult time to raise kids right now.
Yes.
Yes. But on the flip side of that, it's a great time to raise these daughters that see strong women,
Yes.
independent women, and they've got these role models, that maybe we didn't see a few years ago.
Absolutely.
So you bring up a great point. I just read an article in the paper about, and we've had a high school star from Whitmer as one of the wrestlers. I think she's won the state maybe 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
When I was back in high school, we didn't have girls that were wrestling.
Right.
And now you see, I saw something too. They have 10 mats down at Ohio State for the state wrestling tournament, and all 10 mats had female wrestlers on them at one point. And so, how great is that? It's just a small snippet of what we've done. For sure.
So we still have work to do, but we need to cut work. We've come a long way. This event is, and while we do honor the women, it is open to everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's important to say, we've cheered you guys on for long enough. You're on now. So.
That's right. I like that.
And that's the amazing thing that we really like about Steve. He allows us to interact, not just with certain events, but specifically in support of the great women that we have here in the city of Toledo.
Absolutely.
Like Tom was saying, we was at the International Women's Day last week.
It was a great luncheon.
We're going to be present at your event coming up on the 30th of March. So
Yes.
we really appreciate that. And there's so many powerful women in the city of Toledo.
Well,
like boss ladies.
That's right.
I was just thinking, Cross, just apply it to our business here with Steve. Just think, what do all the women do to make Taylor go?
Absolutely.
Without them, we don't have anything,
Right.
We have nothing.
All the extra things that they're doing too that goes unnoticed, like taking care of everything at home is typically the female's role, and we don't necessarily get to put that on resumes,
Right.
Although I challenge
that
someone
is
to
such
do
a
that.
great point. I always worked when I taught for the years and years, I always worked in the summers because you had to, which was great. But one summer I didn't teach. Karen says, why don't you stay home and take care of our little one? Christy was a baby then, and Clay, they were both young, and I'll just continue my job, and we'll just do that for a month and a half, whatever. By the time it was over,
I know where this is going.
I cried like a baby. I ran back to work. I could only do one. Either I got the house clean and none of the kids were fed, or I fed the kids but the house was a mess. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So yes, to your point, what women do to keep a household going, what they do in the professional work world, and they balance all those things.
Yes.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't. No chance.
Talk a little bit about the event that's coming up. We said it's on the 30th.
Yes, so.
And how people can get more information.
Yeah, absolutely. So March 30th, and we are actually, this is a sold out year.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, so we are expecting 150 guests
Congratulations.
in person. Thank you. We're really excited about it. All of the proceeds from this event go to our programming and our services. We are also in the midst of a capital campaign to renovate our entire building. So we've been serving the Toledo community for 153 years. We have been in our space on Jefferson for nearly 70 years.
Yes.
In our space, we have a domestic violence and sexual assault shelter. We are the only emergency shelter in Lucas County.
Wow.
And so that space has gone with a lot of love and a lot of abuse over the last 70 plus years. And so we are in dire need of renovations of that space. So there will be an opportunity at the event to be able to give and benefit that. We currently are at $13 million of a $15 million campaign. So things are moving and shaking.
Yes.
And us being able to double our capacity and provide a more dignified space for the folks that we serve. So
Very good. Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll be able to share some information on screen on how people can maybe get involved and donate to that.
Yes.
we would love that. We'd
That's
greatly
fantastic.
appreciate it. Yes.
That's great. Well, thank thank you for coming in today,
Thank you
Mindi.
for
It's
having
been
me.
You were great.
to talk about this.
Thanks.
Yep, absolutely. And we appreciate you tuning in to another edition of Steve Taylor's Community Connection. Check out how you can get involved more with the YWCA and see how you can help them hit that mark. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.